Okay, how's it going, everybody? We got another letter here today from that came in the mail today. This is from Marx to Engels in Manchester. This was written the 13th of July, 1851, on the 28 Dean Street in Soho. So let's go ahead and get into this. It says, "Dear Engels, I have put off writing from day to day so as to send you complete 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 the documents communicated below. But as they won't be complete for several days, I am writing you today so as not to keep you waiting any longer for an answer. Diabord, from your letter it would seem that during your old man's visit to Manchester, you did not hear that a second document had appeared in the Chronische Zeitung under the heading, quote, Der Bund der Kommunisten, or Kommunisten. This was the piece we wrote jointly, Ansprache an den Bund. I found nothing less than a plan of campaign against democracy. From one point of view, its publication was desirable, unlike Berger's document, of which the form was absurd, plus ou moins, and the content not very reassuring. On the other hand, certain passages will make the present prisoner's position more difficult. From Louis Schultz in Cologne, I have heard that Berger's writes most dolefully from Dresden. On the other hand, it is generally believed in Cologne that Daniels will be released, since there is nothing against him, and all the whalers in the Holy City have reacted in his favor. Naturally, they consider him to be incapable of such foolery. Michael has written from Göttingen, has been subjected to several house searches. Nothing was found, wasn't locked up. Few new emissaries, gentlemen, have left Göttingen for Berlin, etc. The persecution of the Jews has, of course, stimulated both zeal and interest. The funniest thing is that fatuous sheet, the Augsburg Allgemeine Zeitung, attributes paternity of our document to Messrs. Mazzini and Rugg, beats its breast over and over, and can find no better way of expressing its shock at the enormity than by crying at intervals, madness, 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 end quote. Madness, madness, madness is in quotes. The Trierische Zeitung, i.e. K. Gurn, has, of course, climbed into its high horse and used the first document to prove the material, and the second, the intellectual impotence of the party. Needless to say, neither the stock phrases of the Friends of Light nor the most extreme anarchist catchwords are wanting. Everything to be done from above, police state, all dissenters literally to be proscribed and expelled, mon Dieu. That really is the limit. Now for the local storms, which customarily take place in a teacup. First, Father Village has bolted from the barracks, the demise of which it seems has been decided, and has become deeply involved in squabbles with most of his bodyguard. Second, the great Fickler has arrived here. A few days before he came to England, he was in Strasbourg with Lupus. Liebknecht has long been an intimate of his. Both, therefore, went to see him on the 5th of July. He chatted away most affably, spoke of the need for reconciling the parties, etc. When they were joined by the great A. Gueg, he called a Village a, quote, mere fantasist, end quote. Schapper a, quote, disgusting character, end quote. Having several times heard the fellows blustering in the windmill, he had disassociated himself from them and hadn't darkened their door again. Fickler and Gueg invade with exceptional vigor against the great Kinkel, who here plays the role of happy parvenu, thus bringing down on his head the ire of the other great men. Rugg, on the other hand, was regarded as a kind of lumen. Fickler asked for my address, and Lupus and Liebknecht departed, duped by the worthies in their striving for, quote, concord, end quote. A few days later, Fraugrath sent me the following letter which he had received. 4 Brunswick Place, North Brighton, the 4th of July, 1851. This is the letter here. Dear Freiligrath, we are planning a kind of club or society which does away with the privacy of such organizations and excludes no one from the Revolutionary Social Democratic Party, save him who desires to be exclusive or is debarred by his own character and Antecedents. Fickler, Goeg, Siegel, Rong, and Rug are promoting the affair, and I have undertaken to inform you and to invite you, as I suppose you are interested, to a meeting to be held for this purpose on the 14th of July, Monday week, at 11 in the morning at Fickler's Lodgings, 26 York Buildings, which form part of New Road at the lower end of Baker Street. We have invited about 24 people whom we know to be reliable and to have remained true. At present, we know of no more. I would have liked to talk to you. If the plan comes off, this will be possible in any case. Even if you are not going to remain in London, you still have to come. With regards and a handshake. Your A. Rug. Quin Destu. Freiligrath, this is back to Marx here, it says, Freiligrath has made the great mistake of not sending off his answer until yesterday, 12th of July, so that Rug won't even get it before leaving Brighton for London. Freiligrath was altogether too lackadaisical over the matter. Mais eifin chakun, let's see, so this is what this means. But after all, everyone has their own way of doing things. Lupus, to whom I communicated the letter, immediately wrote to Fickler. This is what Lupus wrote. 10th of July, 1851. Citizen Fickler, on the 5th of this month, Liebknecht and I came to visit you. From the manner in which you addressed us, I could not possibly have inferred that only the previous day the following letter had been sent to Freiligrath. The above letter follows. If on the 5th of this month I had so much as remotely suspected that such connection existed between yourself and A. Rug, that fatuous, insolent rapscallion, I would certainly not have set foot inside your lodgings. Since I perceive from the above, however, that you consort with a person, quote, who is debarred by his own character and antecedents, e.g. by his own cowardly flight from Berlin, etc., from any truly revolutionary party, and who has already been sent to Coventry by the whole Communist Party in Germany, I would hereby inform you that I neither will nor can have anything to do with people who move so intimately within the orbit of an individual such as Rug. W. Wolfe, 3 Broad Street, Golden Square. P.S. You can make whatever use you like of this note. I, for my part, shall bring it to the notice of my comrades in the party. To this, Lupus received the following answer, quote, London 11th, July 1851. Dear Citizen Wolfe, so feeble indeed are my powers of prescience that they never remotely led me to fear the loss of your goodwill and your company, should I associate with that rapscallion Rug. More, I was not even aware of being subject in this respect to the tutelage of one section of the party, and to police rule by the men of the future. It is to this want of percipience, as also to what I have learned in 20 years of political activity, namely that there is not one political party able to avoid cooperating with rapscallions, that I owe my resolve to offer my hand to any qualified man desirous of treading the same revolutionary path as myself. Whether he goes no more than halfway to the goal I have set myself, whether he accompanies me all the way there, or whether he continues beyond it. Anathemas, whether political or religious, are anachronisms, even if emanating from emperor or pope. How infinitely more ridiculous do they appear when hurled by kinglets and popelets of a party which, to judge by public avowals, is as inconsistent as your own, which today transforms into rapscallions, those in its own midst to whom only yesterday it accorded almost divine honors. In the course of my life, I have encountered disproportionately more rapscallions than upright people, and have been disproportionately less deceived by the former than by the latter. I therefore waste no time in drawing distinctions of this kind, but rather look for those qualities which may he put to use in the most diverse ways. Should you desire, therefore, together with Marx and Liebknecht, whom I would beg you to inform, to take part in the said meeting, I hereby invite you to it, only pointing out that it will be no more than a preliminary discussion, and that the chief disadvantage for you, as for half of the company in general, will probably be the absence of accommodation for the grosser portions of the anatomy, a fact which, however, should contribute materially to expediting the proceedings. With warm regards, yours, Fickler, etc. It's back to Marx. The most comical thing about the whole business is, and will remain the unending efforts of Rugg and his clique to thrust themselves on the public by constantly changing the combination. If it doesn't work as A, B, C, D, E, F, it will surely do so as Phi, E, D, C, B, A. Just try calculating how many variations and permutations of this kind are possible. Has there ever been a more impotent, ludicrously pretentious clique of barren jackasses? You're Karl Marx. And then it says here, Apropos have received the £5. They arrived like a Deus ex machina, which is a crane from which gods were suspended in ancient theaters, meaning an event which arrives in the nick of time to resolve difficulties. For circumstances are horrible, and it's hard to see horrible. For circumstances are horrible. Horrible's in a quotation marks. It's like horrible without the H. It's hard to see how to extricate oneself. Right direct to close on the 6th, Upper Rupert Street near Princess Street, Soho, since the jackass will otherwise think that the letter he addressed to you, the one about the £10, remember, hasn't reached you. Okay, yeah. So there appears to be some drama going on. That is, let's see, that's from Marx to Engels in Manchester. Written from London to Manchester. So yeah, well, thank y'all for tuning in. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Medium, all of these are Marxists. Y'all can hit me up there. Y'all have a great day, and Dada Goey.